Hey guys, it's Randy and welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna compare the microphone on the Sony ZV-1 with the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. Do you really need one of these? That's what we're gonna find out. So my wife picked up this camera because she wanted to do some more vloggy stuff, and I also needed a top-down angle for some of my videos. And we had this Rode VideoMic Pro Plus kicking around, and I was kind of wondering if it's worth plugging this in every single time or if the internal mic on here is good enough. This microphone is like $300 on its own. And if you want to use it outside, you need the foam cover on it, which is like another $50. So theoretically, this should sound $350 better than the internal mic. That's what we'll find out today. Also guys, we're coming up on 1,000 subscribers, which is absolutely crazy. Make sure you guys subscribe down below to catch more giveaways and fun stuff like that. And a big shout out to Natalie and Gabriel from Rode Tales, who took home the RL SoCo case from my last giveaway. So if you guys didn't see that video, I will link it up here. The ZV-1 is built with a triple mic system on the top, and then you use this hot shoe windscreen to cover it up when you're outside. What's kind of cool but also slightly frustrating about this design is that this actually takes place of your hot shoe. So you slide it right in there and that covers up the microphone. The website says it's a directional 3-capsule mic and a bundled windscreen. Record your voice clearly even in a crowd with this built-in 3-capsule microphone. Now it says on the website that it uses spatial filtering to capture what's coming from in front of the camera with fewer distracting sounds. But it makes me wonder about if you're pointing and shooting this direction and narrating from behind the camera. So that's something that we're gonna test today, and we'll also throw on the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus and give that a go, see which sounds better. Okay, so this is a test at arm's length with the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. And if I turn this around to like actually narrate video, you can tell that the audio just gets pretty bad. So I probably wouldn't use this Rode mic facing this way. But if I wanna switch this around, I can actually turn this video mic around and use it to narrate like this. And this is actually pretty simple to do, but if you have to do a lot of switching, like if you want to talk to the camera for a bit and switch it around, your audio is gonna go all over the place. So this setup won't work too well if you plan on switching it. And this is a test with arm's length with the ZV-1's fluffy thing on, the little fluffy cat. So this will probably be better if you want to flip around a lot, if you want to talk to the camera like this, vlog style, and then flip it around and show something and narrate. You're probably going to get a bit better of an experience doing it with this mic rather than the Rode, just because the Rode is so directional. What's kind of interesting in that last clip is how different it sounds from in front of the camera to behind. If you want to talk to the camera like this, vlog style, and then flip it around and show something and narrate, both sound okay, but it's definitely a big tone change. So if you're doing a lot of switching, just be mindful that it is going to change the tone quite a bit. Right now you're listening to the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus on top of this camera, and just my general thoughts with using it for vlogging. One, it's really great for narration. It really picks up the subject quite well. Great for busy areas, again, because it's so directional. It doesn't pick up a lot of the distractions. And it's also gonna be really good for bad rooms. Right now, this camera is in a corner in the back of a room, but because it is so directional, it actually does a decent job. So we'll switch over to the sound from the ZV-1 right now. So this is the ZV-1 microphone right beside my main camera here. And I have to say for the vlog style stuff, the ZV-1 is probably just gonna be a little bit easier. One of the main things I noticed was the sound difference from the back of the camera to the front. But generally speaking, both sound really clear and they both sound pretty nice. They do sound different, but I think they sound totally reasonable, and I don't know that it warrants putting on the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus for that application, just because it's so easy just to use the internal microphone. Okay, and back to my main microphone, which is just out of frame here, so that's what you're listening to right now. One other point to consider is that the Rode... Hey.
It's a good thing you're filming on Saturday, because it's Saturday and Sunday are the strongest days to film. All the other days are just weekdays.
Oh my God, I was wondering where you're going with that. Another thing to consider is that the ZV-1 is a stereo source and the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus is mono. This means that the ZV-1 is gonna be really good for stereo imaging. So if you're, in like I think like a market or something like that, and you really wanna put the viewer in that sort of space where there's the stereo ambience, you can hear things happening around, that's gonna be way better using the ZV-1. The Rode VideoMic Pro Plus is a mono source, so it's gonna pick up directly what's in front. It's really good for separation, but it's less immersive of a sound. And something else to consider with the Rode is that you can actually set it up to do a safety channel or like a redundant mono. So your left channel would be totally normal and your right channel would be 10 decibels quieter. And this is actually really handy. It actually saved my bacon in those outdoor experiments because my left channel was clipping and my right channel wasn't. So that sort of situation, if the dialogue is really, really important to you, it's probably gonna be better to have the VideoMic Pro Plus for that reason. So that's a bit of a win for the VideoMic Pro Plus, but if you do need stereo, that's a win for the ZV-1. So this is with the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus on. I'm about 2.5 feet from the mic right now. If I back up to about 6 feet, it sounds like this. And this here is about 10 feet. As you can tell, it starts to get pretty darn weak. So I'm gonna take off the VideoMic Pro so you can hear what it sounds like with the internal mic built in. It sounds like this is the built-in mic with the little fluffy on top. So you can tell about 3 feet right now. This here is about 6 feet. And this here is about 10 feet away. So yeah, as you can see, as you get far away, both of these mics just really drop off in quality. So just be mindful if you're recording a subject really far away, they're gonna need some sort of belt pack or a wireless transmitter to get the sound back to the camera. Let's move on to handling noise. So I'm genuinely curious to see how well this thing performs because a lot of people use these Gorilla Arm Flex Pods, and I'm really worried that the sound is gonna transmit down the handle into the body and shake the microphone. And I know the Rode comes with a rye coat suspension system, so you can see that little plastic cradle. So theoretically, this should perform quite well. I know with these guys, like this is the Zoom H1 handheld recorder, and they call it a handheld recorder, but like if I even move my fingers slightly, you can hear how bad that is, right? It's just like, it's totally unusable. If you're using this outside on a camera, it just shakes like crazy. I don't know, this has to be sitting in a very still place to not make noise. I was gonna do this outside, but it is way too cold and way too windy. So I have the camera on a Gorilla Pod right now, the little flex arm, and this is the internal mic, and I just wanted to see what handling noise was like. I can actually already tell, I'm not sure if this is gonna show up in post, but this Rode mic sounds to be a little bit more noisy. I can hear it kind of like creaking around in the hot shoe, so that might be a win for the internal mic, but we'll see. I'm actually really surprised to hear how well this thing did, especially when you consider there's no shock mount, and this one has a shock mount built in, so that's a big win for the ZV-1. Another consideration too is that the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus runs on a rechargeable battery, so it is just another thing that you have to sort of keep top of mind. Am I gonna lose battery power? Something to think about. This takes no thought at all. Okay, so my final thoughts here. I have to say I'm really impressed with the internal mic in this. When you consider that this is $350 more, the quality of this is actually pretty outstanding. I think I still lean to liking the quality of this microphone just a little bit more. To me, it sounds a little bit warmer, a little bit richer. There are the downsides of course, having to spin this around and that little bit of handling noise. Ultimately, both of these setups will work great for telling a great story. You just have to figure out which one is best for you. All right guys, well that's it for this video. I hope that you guys found this video useful. And if you did, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe down below for some more nerdy stuff. We'll see you guys in the next one.